Hello everyone, welcome to What If Rimuru Was in Demon Slayer Part 4. Love. Inosuke was lying around on the couch not knowing what to do with himself. Inosuke. Ooh, I'm bored, where's Manjiro? Tanjiro. I'm right behind you and it's Tanjiro. Inosuke. Huh, where are you going? Tanjiro. I'm just out. Inosuke. Well, I'm bored so I'm going with you. Tanjiro. Inosuke and stealth really don't mix. I can't possibly make sure that Zenitsu doesn't try anything. Don't worry brother, you're an honorable man of your word, so I will protect our sister for both of us. You don't need to do that Inosuke. Inosuke. What, you think I can't do it? I'll show you. Tanjiro. Well sure, if you want to, I'll just have to lose him soon, then I can follow them. Tanjiro and Inosuke were walking toward the exit. Tanjiro. Alright, as soon as we go out the door I'll lose him, then track them down and stop Zenitsu from doing anything. Sorry Inosuke, I'll make it up to you later. Tanjiro opened the door and was shocked at who he saw. Meanwhile, the Hashira meeting ended and everyone was beginning to leave. Shinobu. Seems like we've been having a lot more meetings lately. Seal. Well, lots of things have changed with the lower moons being wiped out and the defeat of 2 of the upper moons. Rimuru. I suppose every bit of info we gain should be shared, but we do have crows for that. Annie. Come now you 3, it's not so bad after all, we get to meet each other more often again and again. Abanai. It's time we could spend slaying more demons. Rimuru. For once you have a point, besides there wasn't even much we had to talk about anyway. Haijiro. Regardless, I must agree with Kanny, seeing you all again in good health is a great thing that we should cherish. Mitsuri. I agree, I'm glad that I can see you all again. Rimuru. I guess you guys are right, it is fortunate that we're all still alive, despite the strength rising in demons. It's important to count our blessings, you never know when one of us may not return. Biu. I agree. Tsunemi walked to where Rimuru was sitting and looked at him with a glare. Rimuru glared back. Tsunemi. Tsujikuni, we need to talk. Rimuru. Is that so? Shinazagawa? A moment of silence and suspense that all the Hashira witnessed, believing a fight was gonna break out between the Hashira that get along the least. Rimuru. Alright then, let's go. Rimuru stood up and followed him. Hanny. I wonder what that could be about. Seal. Whatever it is, it seems interesting, maybe I'll check it out. Shinobu grabbed her arm. Shinobu. Sister, it's not our place. Seal pouted. Seal. Fine. Abanai. It has crossed my mind who would win if they engaged in combat. Jaime. I pray they may not injure themselves too much. A couple of minutes passed, everyone expected to hear fighting and were prepared to stop it if that was the case, but they never could have expected them both to come back seemingly at ease. Rimuru. You want some tea? Tsunemi. Tsunemi. Sure, thanks Rimuru. Everyone looked shocked at what they witnessed, though all Gyu could only raise an eyebrow. Seal. The hell, you 2 are friends now? Rimuru and Tsunemi. Hell no. Rimuru. We just found some understanding in each other is all. Tsunemi nodded. A day passed, we suddenly cut to Tenjin's mansion. He just got home after formally retiring. Tenjin. Well, now that I've got this free time and more than enough money to live in comfort the rest of my life, nothing but pleasure awaits me. Rimuru. Oh, I wouldn't say that. Rimuru was sitting in a seat at his mansion. Tenjin. Rimuru. He haha, how did you get in here? Rimuru. You're not the only one who knows how to sneak around, but that's besides the point. I thought we had a deal that you wouldn't say anything about that. Tenjin. Haha Rimuru, it was just a joke. Rimuru crushed a stone in his hands and it turned into dust. Yuzui was unnerved. Rimuru. I bet you thought Abanai and Shinobu were the only ones that could be scary. Well, not anymore. Tenjin. What do you want? Rimuru. An apology for starters, then I won't do anything to you. Tenjin. Oh, is that all then? Well then I'll let you know I am sorry, I shouldn't have revealed something you wanted to keep quiet about, so you forgive me. Rimuru. Sure. Tenjin. Really? Rimuru. Oh yeah, we're good, I can tell that apology was genuine. Tenjin. You really forgive me and won't do anything to me? Rimuru. Oh sure, I forgive you and I won't harm you, since your apology seems so genuine. Tenjin. Oh good then. Rimuru. But they might not. The corner revealed Kanny and Shinobu with quite terrifyingly fake smiles, along with Hinitsuru, Suma, and Makio with their arms crossed. Tenjin. Hey Kanny, Shinobu, what brings you both here? Kanny. Is what Rimuru told us true? Yuzui. Shinobu. Did you truly try to take our girls on a dangerous mission against Upper 5? Tenjin. Shit. Tenjin then looked to his wives. Tenjin. Ladies, you're all looking very flashy too. Hinitsuru. Who is this Ringoku that Rimuru speaks of? Makio. When you were late for our date you were with him. Suma. It's not okay to lie to us, Lord Tenjin. Tenjin. Double shit. Rimuru got up and approached the door. Rimuru. My business with you is settled, I'll leave you ladies to your business with him. Tenjin. Rimuru, I'm sorry, so please don't leave me with them. Rimuru put on a smug smile as he waved goodbye to Tenjin. Rimuru. Good day Yuzui. Rimuru closed the door and started leaving the estate. He heard Tenjin's screams which were music to his ears. Rimuru walked back to his estate. Rimuru. It's past noon, wonder how everyone else is doing. Rimuru entered his mansion. Rimuru. Hey guys, I'm back. There was no response. Rimuru. What? No response. The door then slammed behind him. He slowly turned to see Seal. Seal. No one is here but us, master. Rimuru. Oh no. Rimuru bolted up the stairs and ran to his room where he closed and locked the door. Rimuru. Phew. Rimuru turned to see Seal in front of him, the surprise caused him to lose his balance and fall. Rimuru. Ow. Rimuru looked up to see Seal looking down at him, while closing the distance between them as she put him in a slight cabinet position. Seal. Is that any way to treat a guest? Rimuru shuddered. Seal. Calm down, master, I simply wanted to talk. Rimuru hastily got up and away from his awkward position. Rimuru. First answer me, where are Tanjiro and Nezuko? Seal. Oh, they're fine, I just simply convinced Kanao and Aoi that they should spend the day with Tanjiro and Nezuko, as thanks for taking her place on the mission they should be gone for the whole day. Rimuru. How did you manage to convince them exactly? Seal. I've been their older sister for years, it wasn't that hard. Rimuru. Just one question, how long have you been planning this? Seal. Since the rickshaw ride in the entertainment district when I talked to Zenitsu. Rimuru. So that's what you guys were talking about, how much of this did you plan? Seal. Quite convenient, he burst out of the ruble just as soon as you made that promise, isn't it? Rimuru. I hate how clever you are sometimes. Seal. But anyways, I simply wanted to be alone with you is all. Rimuru. Well then fine, what is it you wanted to talk about? Seal. Two things first, what did you and Tsunemi talk about? Rimuru. Figured you'd ask, well it went something like this. Flashback. Rimuru was in a more shaded area with Tsunemi, he had his arms crossed, but all his senses were active, he was prepared to fight. Tsunemi was in a similar position on the other side of the wall. Rimuru. So what is this about Shinazagawa? Tsunemi. You killed another moon yet again. Rimuru. I knew it, so that's what this is about. Tsunemi. And during that battle, you and Seal got hurt badly protecting each other. Rimuru. Yeah, what about it? Tsunemi. I'll just get to the point, Tsujikuni, do you love Seal? Rimuru. You're the last person I expected this question from. Tsunemi. Just answer the damn question. Rimuru. I'll tell you if you tell me why you care. Tsunemi. Fine then. Rimuru. Is this because she's Kani's sister? Tsunemi. What are you talking about? Tsunemi said this quite well flustered. Rimuru. I've got an eye for this stuff, I know you like her, but it's not my place, so your secret safe with me. Tsunemi. Well, it's not just that, it's something else as well. Rimuru. Tell me and I'll answer you. Tsunemi. Seal used to be my student. Rimuru. Wait, really, you're kidding? Tsunemi. Didn't you notice nature breathing originated from wind breathing? Rimuru. Usually too busy fighting to observe that, and I only saw it in battle once, but now that you mention it, you do have a point, they do seem similar. Tsunemi. Seal trained with me and we went on a couple of missions together, she was annoying, but I can respect her as a demon slayer, she was my student till she became a Hashira. Rimuru. I'm surprised you taught her. Tsunemi. It was a request from Kani. Rimuru. Enough said then. Tsunemi. Well, I answered you, so now it's your turn, do you love her? Rimuru. I do, and have for longer and more than you would believe. Tsunemi. Rimuru. I don't show it because our feelings would distract each other even more. We're the Hashira, our focus has to be killing demons and saving lives, our own desires must come second, all we can do is everything we can to end all demons so we can have the peace we desire. Tsunemi. Well said. Rimuru. You're a pretty decent guy, Tsunemi, for caring about your student like that, and here I thought you were nothing but a brute. Tsunemi. And here I thought you were just a demon-loving brat spoiled by his own power. Rimuru offered his hand, Tsunemi took it. Rimuru. Let's try to make sure everyone survives. Tsunemi. And slaughter all the demons that dare hurt those lives. Rimuru. Oh yes. End of flashback. Rimuru. And then we walked back with a newfound respect for each other, and you know the rest. Seal. Huh, so he told you about that. Rimuru. Thought you would expect it. Seal. The worst part about being human instead of Manas is that there's stuff like this that I can't expect anymore. How you manage being in a constant state of ignorance is beyond me. Rimuru. Must be tough for you to lose the eternal knowledge, huh? Seal. Regardless, there's one more thing. Rimuru. What is it? Seal. To be honest, I have been worried about you, master, a lot. Rimuru. There's nothing to worry about though, I'm fine. Seal. You can fool anyone else, everyone else, but not me, I know you the same way you know me. Rimuru. Seal. You still blame yourself and your thoughts and stress have stopped you from battling as efficiently as you can. Rimuru. So mental health check, huh? Seal nodded seriously. Seal. Master, you need to understand that it's not your F. Rimuru. But it is. Rimuru suddenly screamed out. Rimuru. Seal, I could have saved them at any time, I couldn't protect them, held him off, learn from that, so we would feel the need to become demon slayers, but I didn't, they died because I couldn't think of anything else, and those 16 years of life with them were some happy times, couldn't there have been another way? Seal. Maybe, but how would Nezuko have become a demon and gotten her powers that can save others even more? You already saved so many, master, if it bothers you this much you can revive them once this is all over. Rimuru. Maybe, but if they find out what we really are, could they ever forgive me? They may look at me differently. Seal put a hand on Rimuro's shoulder. Seal. They love you and look up to you, they'll understand, you know how loving and forgiving they are. Rimuru. Seal. Instead of looking at what you've lost and what could be, try to love what you have, and what is more, people are alive and will be alive because of you, but if you keep this burden you won't be able to save them. Once it's all over you can apologize, be sincere. I do not doubt that if not now then over time they will forgive you, they look up to you. Rimuru. Once it's all over I'm gonna give them that tour that I promised them. Seal. If that is what you desire then it is what you should do, master. Rimuru. Thanks for the pep talk Seal, it really helped. Seal. I must look after my master, but if you are truly grateful I will accept a kiss as thanks. Rimuru. Of course you would, but I already told you no. Seal. How about this then, if you're so adamant to be left alone, give me one kiss on the lips, and if you want me gone, then I'll leave now and won't try to seduce you anymore until Muzan is defeated. Rimuru. Fine then, but don't complain on your way out. Rimuru leaned in as did Seal. They kissed. Rimuru's tongue pushed in between Seal's lips. Seal opened her mouth as their tongues connected and danced. They separated, but their saliva was still connected. Rimuru. Satisfied. Seal. The real question is, are you? Rimuru. Rimuru and Seal's Harris were on the floor as they were continuing their passion on Rimuru's bed. Rimuru gripped Seal's soft ass as she held his neck. He was on top of her as his tongue vied for dominance, and hers surrendered. They continued for 20 minutes until they got up for air. They started to unbutton their shirts. Rimuru leaned in and began to kiss her neck, which earned him a moan. Seal. Ah master. Rimuru continued to kiss and lick lower as he opened and cast aside her uniform until he reached her cleavage. He began to remove her sarashi and was revealed a wonderful surprise. Rimuru. They're bigger. Seal. I thought it would be more fun to surprise you, and it seems I was right. Rimuru. Guess being human isn't so bad anymore to you, huh? Seal. It has its moments. Rimuru began to kiss and suck on her left nipple while massaging the right breast. Seal continued to moan in pleasure. He then switched as he sucked the right nipple and began massaging the left breast. Seal continued to moan louder as the pleasure began to make her mind numb. Rimuru then grabbed both breasts and sucked them simultaneously. Seal. Ah master. Seal grabbed both sides of Rimuru's head and kissed him. Rimuru. In a rush for the main course are we? Seal nodded. Rimuru. Alright then. They both then were fully dressed in their birthday suits. Rimuru. Ready. Seal. Please be rough. Rimuru. That's an original, but if you say so. Rimuru wasted no time in thrusting in deep within Seal's walls. Seal. Ah. Rimuru. Seal. Rimuru tightly gripped Seal's hips as he began to rapidly thrust in and out of Seal. They both moaned and breathed like animals. Seal. Ah master. Seal wrapped her legs around Rimuru and pulled him in closer as they kissed while he was still thrusting. Rimuru. NNGH. Seal. I'm close. Seal. Ah me too. And you can come inside. Rimuru. No way. Rimuru finished outside as Seal was covered in Rimuru's semen. Seal wiped the amount on her face before swallowing it. Seal. Phew, look at the mess you made, master. Rimuru. Yeah, well, better than that than taking the risk. I'd say you got a bit carried away. Seal. It's just your imagination. Rimuru. Please don't start with that again. Seal chuckled as she got on top of Rimuru. Seal. I don't know about you, but I could go again. Rimuru. I don't know if that's a good idea. What if we get caught? Seal. Since everyone we know in this world who would wonder where we are is currently preoccupied, no one should be coming back for a while. Rimuru. What have I awakened? 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 Seal. Don't blame me, you know what you started, now finish it. Rimuru. This is gonna be a long day. Seal. It's gonna be longer than you think. Rimuru. Help. Saki. I, Saki Yoshida, after spending 3 years at middle school, have graduated. Think I've finally made a friend, and his name is Rimuru. I'm glad things ended up like this. Saki and Rimuru were walking home. They were able to become friends quickly while chatting about common interests, mostly games, which eventually led to them becoming friends in a short time. Despite her original insistence to be left alone, his charisma led to her talking more with her. Saki. I always thought that if I joined others I'd be looked down on, but he never once did. Instead he always looked at me with interest and care that seemed genuine. I haven't felt like this before, it's a nice feeling. Saki had these thoughts as her eyes started to wander. She looked at Rimuru. He had long beautiful hair, as well-built body, and was relatively tall. Anyone with eyes could see he was quite attractive, and she couldn't keep her eyes off him. Rimuru. Well, what do you think? Saki. Rimuru. I was asking what you thought of the game we were talking about. You listening? Saki. Yeah. Rimuru. Seems like going as the oblivious and kind hot eye seems to be working. I really need to do what I can to prevent things from coming to pass. Rimuru shuddered as he recalled the events that were to be. Rimuru. Curiosity really did kill the cat. Saki. You okay, Rimuru? Rimuru. Yeah, just a bad memory of the past is all, I'm fine. They approached Saki's home. Saki. This is my stop, it was nice talking to you. Rimuru. Shiro, and here, take this, it's my phone number. Saki. Why are you giving it to me? Rimuru. It's normal for friends to be able to contact each other, isn't it? Saki was quite surprised at his words, though she wanted to become his friend she never thought he'd say it. The words did make her feel quite happy, but also in desire for something more. Rimuru. I'll see you later, Saki, we should hang out this summer. Saki. Sure, I'd like that. Rimuru left. Rimuru. Wait, now that I think about it, where am I supposed to go? I literally don't know where I live. Rimuru received a text from his phone. Here, it had an address on it. Go to this address, your password is. Rimuru. Well, if nothing else, at least he's not leaving me in the dark, but what do I need a password for instead of a key? Rimuru plugged in the address in his GPS and wondered where he'd be going. Rimuru. Knowing that damned rider, he most likely gave me some crappy hole in the wall apartment. Oh, I'm getting close. Rimuru turned the corner and couldn't believe what he saw. Rimuru. What the hell? Rimuru entered the house after typing in the code. He was stunned by the place while looking at his surroundings, picked up his phone and began calling. What's up, Tempest? Rimuru. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, you mean this house? Well, your father is a CEO of a thriving business. Well, your mother is one of the best lawyers in the country, so needless to say you're rich. They met when she helped him get over an awful scandal and feelings developed over time, but they're very busy, so they're rarely home. Rimuru. How convenient. Anyways, seems like things are going well on your end. Rimuru. You could say that. Well, good luck with whatever you plan to do, I'm sure it'll be entertaining regardless. Rimuru. Nice to know. While I'm saving a life, you're sitting on your ass enjoying the show. Now don't be like that, Mikami. I'll make sure to let luck in your favor. So long as you don't screw things up, you'll be fine. Also, this privileged life of yours doesn't come for free. Rimuru. Of course, it doesn't. What's the catch? Oh, nothing much, you just need to make a selective amount of people suffer. Rimuru. Oh, is that all? What did you have in mind? I think some alone time with Ultima should suffice. Anyways, I'll leave it to you to change things for the better. Enjoy your house and good luck. The phone hung up. Rimuru. Well, I suppose I better get to work. True colors. Golly. Everything's in place, make the call. Yuki. Perfect. Rimuru was lying around in his house when his phone rang. He picked it up. Rimuru. Hello. Yuki. Listen closely, you live in a house shaded by bamboo. You have a pet Tempest wolf. You are the leader of Tempest, and your economy is worth around 140,000 stellar coins. According to our records, you see, we know everything about you, but you know nothing about us, so the smartest thing for you to do right now. Rimuru hung up. Yuki observed his phone in question of what happened. Golly. What happened? Yuki. He hung up on me. Golly. What, ain't no way he had to have disconnected or something? Call him back. Yuki. Right, you're right, cause who would even? Rimuru's phone rang again and he answered it yet again. Rimuru. Hello. Yuki. You can run a nation, but you can't make your phone connection better. Rimuru. What? Yuki. Your phone dropped the call earlier, let's hope that doesn't happen again. Rimuru. Wait, so that wasn't a pre-recorded message? Yuki. How could that have been pre-recorded? I said your address, I mentioned your pet. Rimuru. Wasn't listening. Yuki. Well, pay attention, you will wire 20,000 holy coins to the kingdom, I tell you to. Rimuru. No, I won't. Yuki. You will wire the money to. Rimuru. No, I literally won't do that. Yuki. We have your mom back from Earth, and if you want to see her again then you gotta send. Rimuru. F her. Yuki was partly shocked. Rimuru. F her. Yuki and Kigali were staring at each other in disbelief. Yuki. I said we have your mom, not a mob like your. Rimuru. I heard you heard me. Kigali signaled Yuki to continue. Yuki. We have your dad too. Rimuru. F him too. Yuki. Your kid. Rimuru. Forgot I had any, but hey, you're doing me a massive favor, no more child support, I prefer sons anyways. Yuki was in full disbelief. Yuki. How could you? Rimuru. Why are you so callous? Rimuru. Oh, I see, you think you're talking to my soft lane, manga, or anime versions, don't you? Know this web novel. Rimuru speaking. Yuki put on a face of ultimate regret. Rimuru. And why do you want my money so badly is the question, you that incompetent that you can't make it yourself. You know what, I'll tell you what I can do for you. I will withdraw the 20,000 holy coins right now and get Benimaru to burn it all on camera and send it to you. That good, matter of fact I think I got 20,000 on me right now, stand by. Yuki. No, don't. Rimuru hang up. Yuki had his face in one of his hands in regret and contemplation of what just happened, but in a couple of seconds, he received a video of Benimaru burning the coins to ashes and Rimuru giving the finger to the camera. Yuki. Let the hostages go. Golly. Did he send the money? Yuki. Let them go home, they've been through enough, they can go home. Golly left to do as told. Yuki. They can go home, they've been through enough. It was night. Rimuru awoke and sat up straight. Rimuru. What happened? I can barely remember anything. What did I do yesterday? Seal. Me. Rimuru looked down to see Seal sitting up straight, also on his bed, starting to get closer. Rimuru. What in Voldnava's name are you doing? Back off, you crazy manas. Seal. Please give me Hugi Wuggies Yuwu. Rimuru. What the F are you saying? Seal. Pounces on you. Rimuru. How could this happen to me? I've made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. Seal. Roar X3 what's this? Owo notices Bulge gasps, let's have a little look-see here. Rimuru. I should have just stayed home and played the new Legends of Zelda. This is so not Cashmere. Just to be clear, I'm aware that this is so cringe, I'm not apologizing though. Rimuru woke in a cold sweat while gasping for air. Rimuru. Phew, it was just a dream. Rimuru looked out the window and saw that the sun was barely seeping through his window like a nosy child. Rimuru. It seems that the day passed. I must have slept after the meeting. Well, since it's still early, I guess I can still sleep a bit. Rimuru got back under the covers until he felt spooned by a feminine figure and felt two bare soft orbs on his back with a slight firm yet soft prick on each. Rimuru turned around to Seal, smiling while sleeping and cuddling with him. Rimuru. It wasn't a dream. Seal. Well, only part of it wasn't quite the unorthodox dream, master. Rimuru. Can you stay out of my head please? Seal. No. Rimuru had his hands on his face. Rimuru. I fed up. Seal. Actually you fed. Rimuru. Stop it. Seal had a mischievous smirk on her face. Seal. Forgive me master, but you're too cute not to tease. They both got dressed. Seal. I must say master, you've grown into such a perv in this life. I didn't expect you to be so rough with me. You must have truly been backed up, though. Rimuru blushed with embarrassment. Seal noticed this and smirked as she got closer to him from behind. She then held his chin and smirked. This did nothing to calm his embarrassment. Seal. I wouldn't have had it any other way. Rimuru. Will you stop teasing me? A knock could be heard on Rimuru's door. This almost caused Rimuru to jump out of his skin. Tanjiro. Brother, are you awake? Nezuko. We wanted to check if you were okay. You were in your room since you got home. Rimuru. I'll be out in a minute. Seal. Oh my, shall we make our reveal and tell them the news about Rimuru pinched Seal's cheek while having an evil fake smile. Rimuru. If you say a word to them or they find out, you won't get a single praise for a whole century. Is that understood, my servant? Seal. Why yes master. Rimuru, let go. Rimuru. Good, now hurry and leave, take the window and go, and don't tell anyone about this. Seal. Right. Seal went to the window and prepared to leave through it. Seal. So when can we do this again? Rimuru. Out. Seal gave a mischievous smile as she left through the window. Rimuru sighed as he mentally prepared himself and opened his door. Rimuru. Sorry for the wait. Tanjiro. It's fine, sorry if we woke you. Rimuru. I was just sleeping in is all. I'll cook breakfast, it shouldn't take long. Tanjiro. Don't push yourself brother if you're feeling sick. Rimuru. I'm healthy as can be. What makes you say that? Nezuko. You were in your room since we all got home. Are you okay? Do you need healing brother? Rimuru. Oh, that it's nothing, I'm fine, I promise. I was just feeling lazy when I got back from the meeting is also I turned in early. Tanjiro. Really, but you're usually so energetic. Rimuru. I promise you guys I'm fine, so let's just get ready to eat. Rimuru prepared their breakfast for the day and set it on the table for each of them to eat. Rimuru. So just so you guys know, I'll be out for a while on missions. I'm going to go with another Hashira on a mission or two. It could take a while. But if I'm not back in the week you guys are supposed to be resting, then make sure you get back to training. Tanjiro is in charge while I'm gone. Nezuko. Which Hashira are you going with? Rimuru. I don't know yet, but I'll be told once I get there. Rimuru was about to leave when Tanjiro. Oh brother, I wanted to ask, your room smelled like heavy sweat, a little bit of blood and something else. Nezuko. Were you okay last night? Rimuru was sweating bullets. Rimuru. Oh, I actually did some intense training before I went to bed. Yeah, I'm tired just thinking about it. Tanjiro. Nezuko. Rimuru. Nezuko. Brother, you shouldn't push yourself too hard in training. Tanjiro. Getting results is important, but if you hurt yourself too much you won't be able to function. Rimuru. Oh of course. Rimuru was leaving out the door when suddenly the door opened and Zenitsu came out. Rimuru. Oh hey Zenitsu, look, if you're here to complain about something I'll tell you already. I don't want to hear. Zenitsu. I know what happened last night. A moment of silence was shared between the two of them as a gentle breeze blew right by them. Rimuru. I don't know what you're talking about. Zenitsu. Don't bother denying it, I heard you both the whole night. Zenitsu said with a slight look of frustration. Zenitsu. Tanjiro and Nezuko may have some suspicion, but they don't want to believe it, so they won't. Rimuru. So what now? Zenitsu put on a smug expression. Zenitsu. I've noticed above all else you value the image Tanjiro and Nezuko have of you. It'd be a shame if they found out their brother was a closet perv. Rimuru zoomed in front of Zenitsu and held him in the air by the shirt. Rimuru had a terrifying aura. The nearby birds flew away from his bloodlust. Rimuru. Zenitsu heard every word and was very much terrified. He was dropped to the ground and Rimuru walked off. Zenitsu was left shivering. Zenitsu. Scary. Meanwhile, Seal was sneaking back into the flower mansion. She entered her room's window. She giggled as she felt adrenaline from sneaking back in her room and joy about what happened last night. Shinobu. Just where have you been, I wonder? Seal. Sister, what are you doing here? Shinobu. Waiting for you since I got back home for 10 hours. Seal. Shinobu. Where have you been? Seal. Out. Shinobu. Since yesterday. Seal. Yes, and while I was out I found a nice and mass amount of stray dogs and cats. Wouldn't it be nice if they got a home here? Maybe I'll even let you pet one. Shinobu left her room and slammed the door as a silent way of surrendering and letting that be the end of it. Seal. Works every time. Still she's suspicious even if that is the end of it. I'll have to cover my tracks more if they find out too much. It could cause a chain reaction of others knowing and eventually Tanjiro and Nezuko. Seal shuddered at recalling her master's words of warning. Seal. Master can be so harsh. Does their image of him really matter that much to him? Seal exhaled as a way of venting her frustration. Seal. I loathe my ignorance in this form. Not only am I not constantly aware of every piece of knowledge in the world, but also whatever master thinks and feels. But I must admit it is a new exciting experience. Seal lied down on her bed and looked at the ceiling. Seal. Still I can't wait for things to go back to the way they were. The sooner we wipe out the demons of this world the better. Meanwhile, Rimuru was on his way to the location of his mission. He received mission details from his crow. He was told that a lot of people have been disappearing in a village known for tourists. Rimuru waited at the rendezvous location. Rimuru. I wasn't told which Hashira I was supposed to ally with for this mission, only that they would meet me at this location. I showed up early, but that may have been a mistake, because now I'm just sitting here bored. Hopefully it's someone I can get along with. Rimuru noticed someone approaching and looked to see who it was. Tsunemi. So you too, huh? Rimuru. Yeah. Tsunemi. The master had us team up for this mission. Rimuru. I think he has a sick sense of humor. Tsunemi. We get along once and suddenly everyone thinks we're thick as thieves. Rimuru. Let's just get this over with. The two of them explored the town. It was crowded since it was a popular tourist spot, so they couldn't find any clues. The both of them never bothered to speak to each other unless necessary. Tsunemi. Shit, this town is too crowded to find any info on any damn demons. Rimuru. Yeah, and my senses are off with all the people here. Too much for me to take. Tsunemi. Got any ideas? Rimuru. Let's take a break and wait till night. That's when it'll most likely show itself. Tsunemi. Fine. Rimuru. Let's hit up that dessert cafe we passed by. Tsunemi. Not a bad idea. The both of them ordered and sat at a seat across from each other. After they ordered they were both dead silent. Rimuru. Look, we might as well talk to each other and clear the air between us while we're on this mission. Tsunemi. Look, I can tell you're a decent person, but I can't trust you. Rimuru. Why is that? Tsunemi. You still hang around a demon. I know she's your sister and has some self-control, but I could never trust anyone who could love demons. Rimuru. Do you have any siblings? Tsunemi. I only have a brother left. They were killed by a demon that was my own mother. Rimuru. Our family was killed as well by a demon. We had 4 younger siblings and a good loving mother. They were all killed by Muzan himself. Nezuko was turned into a demon to this day. The image is still fresh in all of our minds. Their bloodied lifeless bodies. You know what that's like, being the oldest, the one who's supposed to look after them, and a demon taking that away. Tsunemi. Rimuru. I don't love demons. I love my sister. If your brother is alive as you say, you should do what you can to take care of him. Being the last survivors of a family, you're all you both have, so take care of each other. Regardless if he's mad at you, reconcile. We demon slayers live short lives that we sacrifice. We can't live like we have time, because we don't. Best to live with no regrets. Tsunemi. You're like an old man. Are you sure you're 17? Rimuru. Hahaha, what do you expect me to say to that? Of course I'm 17. I honestly lost count of how old I am with all 3 of my lives combined. At least 60 I think. Great, now I feel old. Their food arrived. Tsunemi ordered a hagi. Rimuru ordered a chocolate cake. After they ate they left. As they did, night started to arrive. Tsunemi. Fewer people are around, should be easier to find that demon here. Rimuru. I don't sense anything yet. Tsunemi. Well then I'll have to bait them out. Tsunemi took out his blade and cut himself. He was bleeding. Rimuru. Hey, careful, even if that'll help draw them out, because you have Morechi, you shouldn't get hurt yourself. Hurt too much. Tsunemi. Shut up, this'll help us draw out that damn demon. We gotta kill it no matter what. Rimuru. Maybe, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't take care of yourself. Gotta be careful. Tsunemi. Forget that, just keep sensing and see if you can find that damn demon. Rimuru. My comrades are my priority over demons. Tsunemi. Damn, you're stubborn. Look at it this way, the sooner we kill that thing the sooner I'll patch myself up. Rimuru. Fine. Rimuru concentrated his universal perception and found a demon. Rimuru. Looks like it smelled your blood and wanted to check it out this way. Tsunemi followed Rimuru. The demon seemed to be retreating into a cave. Rimuru stopped where he was. Tsunemi. What are we waiting for? The demons are in there. Let's hurry up and get them. Rimuru. We should be careful. We don't know what they got in store for us. Tsunemi. F that, I'm going in and you're not stopping me. Tsunemi shoved Rimuru and entered the cave. Rimuru. Tsunemi, wait, you're still hurt. Tsunemi. It's as I thought, he's strong. Most definitely he carried through all those fights. But he holds back so much because he cares too much for demons. Kind people will just end up getting hurt. Happens all the time. Like hell I can let that happen. Tsunemi rushed in and followed the demon. He was catching up to it. When it turned the corner, it revealed at least 30 demons, all armed with guns pointed at Tsunemi. They fired. Tsunemi was able to deflect a good amount of them until he started to get hit. He evaded into a corner. Tsunemi. Damn it, how did they get those? Demon. How lucky those guys transporting guns came by here, not only were they delicious they had prizes which makes things easy. Tsunemi. Shit, there's too many of them to simply deflect and they're keeping their distance, even if I can drug some of them, I still wouldn't have the time for it to take effect. Demon. Awesome, this guy's a Marechi, he'll make us all a whole lot stronger. Tsunemi. Shit, what now, I can't reach them without being shot, what to do, think. Demon. Oh look, another human, I'm sure he'll taste good too. Tsunemi. Shit, did he follow in after me, that idiot, he should know they have guns, what is he doing? Demon. Now not only do we have a Marechi, but another meal, I'm sure he'll taste amazing as well. Hey, why are you smiling like that, something funny to why? Before he could finish it sounded like he was cut off by the throat. The demon started to fire in response, but Tsunemi couldn't tell what was going on, all he heard were screams. Tsunemi. Is he really killing them? He is strong, like hell, I'll just sit here useless. Tsunemi was someone who's experienced many a battle and had seen horrors of battle time and time again. He was someone whose nerve was unshakable. But at that moment when he turned the corner he was frozen in fear at what he witnessed. Rimuru was not killing the demons, despite his ability to, he was torturing them. Rimuru. And having quite the enjoyment while doing it, he cut and diced them to pieces without killing them. Their guns were long destroyed and they were diced to pieces in everywhere except their necks. Tsunemi. Wait, he's not trying to kill them, he's just torturing them, all this carnage, destruction, and chaos, and he hasn't even drawn his sword, what the hell is he? Demon. Why aren't you killing us? You have a Nichiren blade, so why aren't you? Rimuru stomped his mouth. Rimuru. Demon. What? Rimuru. Tsunemi. What the hell is he saying? Demon. PP, please, I don't understand. Rimuru. The demon looked up at his tormentor and began to cry. Rimuru. The demon looked at the face of his tormentor and suddenly the life left his eyes. Rimuru. Oh, he died of shock, that rarely happens. Rimuru dropped the corpse of the demon and continued his torment on the rest till sunrise. Rimuru's killer aura leaked the entire night, surrounding animals fled, plants were dying, and Tsunemi froze where he was in shock and fear as he witnessed Rimuru's sadistic actions and him smiling all the way. He eventually dragged all the corpses of the demons outside to bathe in the sunlight and die. Tsunemi was shocked at what he witnessed from the being that he thought was a kind soul, but tonight he flipped a switch and broke a limit that he placed on himself. He let the monster free. Rimuru walked over to Tsunemi and looked down on him. Rimuru. Shinazagawa. He then squatted down to make eye contact with him. Rimuru. You okay? They got you pretty good, come on, we gotta go get you some help. Tsunemi. Don't just act like that didn't happen, what the hell was that? Rimuru. I guess it was wishful thinking, you would just play it off. Tsunemi. I never thought you had that in you here, I thought you cared about demons. Rimuru. Like I said, I don't love demons, not in the slightest, I love my sister. Zenitsu. One left. Hey sensei, I've got a question for you. Rimuru. Sure, what's up, perv? Zenitsu. How do you know when you're in trouble with Shuna and Shion? Rimuru. Okay, firstly, I'm their boss, I can't get in trouble with them because our relationship is platonic, thus there's nothing to mess up. Zenitsu. Boring. Rimuru. And secondly, when they smile and close their eyes like Shinobu, you can see, hear and even smell the aura, that's when I'm in trouble. Zenitsu. Interesting. Rimuru. Why do you ask? Zenitsu. No reason. Alright, I brought them in, what you owe me one. Zenitsu. Rimuru. Who did you bring in? Shion and Shuna, just for a quick visit of course. Shion. Hello Lord Rimuru. Shuna. Oh that's right, it's currently Rimuru, no it's quite the nice name. Rimuru. Thanks, I'm glad you like it. Rimuru looked at Zenitsu and his rider and whispered to them. Rimuru. What are you two up to? Don't look at me, just doing a favor, now he owes me one. It was a sort of no questions asked thing, though I think I know where this is going, in which that sweetens the deal. Rimuru. What do you mean by that? WGS summons popcorn, a fruit punch and a chair in which he sits in. You'll see. Shion. Have you all been discussing something? Zenitsu. Oh hey, a pleasure to meet you both. Sensei Rimuru and I were just talking about some of the fun adventures we've been having and how he's been enjoying certain others' company. Shuna. Oh, you mean his siblings and that poor child? Zenitsu. Yes, and along with it he's been getting particularly close to another one of our companions, especially since the last mission. Hey, do you know to whom I'm referring to? Rimuru. No, I've been on equally friendly terms with everyone. Zenitsu. Oh, I remember he's been enjoying spending time with Seal-san. Shion. What, Lord Rimuru? Rimuru. No, I was not trying anything like that. Zenitsu. It's so funny, she's always coming on to him and flirting with him and even getting suggestive with him in literally any place. Shuna. What? Rimuru. What are you doing, you little s? Rimuru whispered to Zenitsu. Zenitsu. What do you mean? He said with a smug smile. Shion. Rimuru-sama, you left Tempest to go on a vacation with Seal-sama. Rimuru. No, okay, I told her to look after Tempest while I was gone, but she disobeyed me and came of her own volition. I never told her to come here with me, so I've made sure to scold her for it. Zenitsu. Right, scold her, funny way of saying you declared her your love before doing that. Shuna and Shion both expressed their shock and appall at this. Rimuru. I was in the heat of battle and poisoned after she protected me. I was not thinking straight. Shuna. Hold on, he said you declared her your love before doing that. What is that exactly? Rimuru. I don't remember. Zenitsu. I do. Rimuru. Effing don't. Shion. What did they do? Zenitsu looked at Shion and Shuna, then Rimuru. Zenitsu. Pretty sure they FE'd soon after. Shion and Shuna smiled and closed their eyes and had an aura so deadly even our rider who was watching hid in fear. Zenitsu. Yep, he definitely blew her back out. Rimuru. You're dead perv. Rimuru said this while holding Zenitsu in the air by his shirt as he had a mischievous grin. Rimuru felt two cold hands on his shoulder. Shion. Rimuru-sama, I think it's time we had a chat. Shuna. Yes, we can talk more about this over. Shion's cooking all for you, of course. Rimuru. No, wait, it's not. Please stop. New. Shuna. Come, Rimuru-sama, you've been away from Tempest too long. I'm sure you missed Shion's cooking. They dragged Rimuru away much to his distress. I was right, that was entertaining. Clever boy. Zenitsu. Zenitsu. Thanks about that favor. This one's on the house. Our rider and Zenitsu both waved goodbye. Truth. Tsunemi was lying on a bed. His eyes slowly opened. He saw Rimuru sitting on a chair by his bed. Rimuru. Glad you're awake, sleeping beauty. Tsunemi. Don't call me that. Tsunemi sat up straight. Tsunemi. Where am I? Rimuru. My mansion. You lost too much blood and passed out, so I brought you back here. Tsunemi. How long was I out? Where are my bandages? Rimuru. You didn't need them, my sister healed you. Tsunemi. That demon. Rimuru. That demon is my sister and she has a name, and I would prefer that you use it anyways. I figured you wouldn't want to wake up to a demon near you, so I told her to leave once she's done. Tsunemi got out of bed and grabbed his sword and approached the door. He opened it and looked back at Rimuru. Tsunemi. Look, I don't like owing favors to anyone, so tell me what you want now. Rimuru. Simple, never tell Tanjiro or Nezuko how I acted in that cave if they ask. Tsunemi. Is that all? Rimuru. Yeah. Tsunemi. Fine if that's what you want. Tsunemi closed the door and left the mansion. Rimuru watched Tsunemi leave before going to his room, lying down and sighing. Rimuru. I can't believe I lost control so easily again. It seems I truly can't help myself when they aren't around. I can never let them know of the monster within me. Time passed around 1 month till the swordsmith village. Rimuru made an appointment for him, Tanjiro, Zenitsu and Inosuke, to get better swords as they were proven worthy of them, and Nezuko will be coming as well, since she isn't allowed to be alone without supervision. Their training was going well. Zenitsu and Inosuke were getting closer and closer to Hashira level, though it was bitter work. Zenitsu. Sensei, please, can we take a break? Rimuru. If you can still talk, you can still train. Your bodies are still moving, so you can continue. Zenitsu. Could you at least not stand on me while we're doing push-ups? Rimuru. Maybe, if you can do 20,000 more without me. Zenitsu. Why is sensei so cruel? Rimuru got closer to Zenitsu's ear and whispered. Zenitsu looked like he was about to cry when suddenly Rimuru saw someone entering the mansion. Rimuru. Oh hey Giyu, welcome. Did you need something? Giyu. I needed to talk to you. Rimuru. Oh really, what's up? Giyu. Come with me. Rimuru. If you insist. Rimuru walked off of Zenitsu and even stepped on his head, leaving him face first into the ground. Rimuru. Alright, training will be cut short for today. You all can have a break for the day. Zenitsu was relived. Rimuru. Except Zenitsu, he has to do 700 more push-ups before I get back. Zenitsu. What? But I don't even know how long you will be gone. Rimuru. Then you better get started. Zenitsu rapidly did push-ups while screaming and crying. Rimuru. Let's go, Giyu. Giyu nodded. They both left the mansion. Rimuru. I'm surprised you came to me, Giyu. I never expected you to show up at my mansion, but I'm glad you did. So where are we going? Giyu. A restaurant. Rimuru. Oh, is that so? You didn't have to do that. Giyu. Rimuru. Well, I appreciate it regardless. Rimuru followed Giyu to a restaurant that served meat and alcohol. Rimuru. Wow, this place looks nice. Didn't think you'd like a place like this. Giyu. They serve good fish here as well. Rimuru. That's good, but what's the occasion? Rimuru said as he began to enter the restaurant and was revealed to a surprise. All the other Hashira were there as well, screaming surprise, all except Michiro, Tsunemi, and Abanai, that is. Rimuru. What's all this? Rengoku. It's your birthday, isn't it, young Tsujikuni? Rimuru. Really, who told you guys? Giyu. Tanjiro made sure to tell us. Mitsuri. So we all pitched in to rent out this restaurant for the night. Rimuru. Sounds like him, but guys, you all didn't have to do this. Tenjin. Nonsense. Ever since you became a demon slayer, the amount of moons has been steadily declining. You're 3 for 3 now. Rimuru. Come on, it was a team effort and you know it. Shinobu. It's such a coincidence though. Rimuru. How so? Shinobu. Your birthday is the same date as Seal's. Rimuru. Oh really, seriously, you couldn't have chosen a less auspicious time to come here. Could she not wait a day? Seal. Can you blame me? I was on a different plane from you for 300 seconds. Rimuru. Wait, so it seriously was for 5 minutes. Hanny. So we'll be celebrating the both of you today. Seal held Rimuro's arm. Seal. Isn't it great, darling? I told you we were meant to be. Rimuru pushed her off again. Rimuru. Only because you copied me. They all sat down and enjoyed the festivities. Tenjin. So how about it, Rimuru? Gonna have your first drink tonight? Rimuru. No thanks, I'm still too young after all. Rengoku. You may never get the chance again, you should seize the opportunity. Rimuru. Yeah, well, that's a risk I'll take. Seal on the other hand was already at it, much to Rimuru's surprise. Rimuru. Guess that only makes one of us. Seal. Don't be such a stiff darling and have some. Rimuru. Someone's gone through changes in this life. Didn't you always enhance poison resistance whenever I drank back in the cardinal world? Seal. That was before I knew what a blessing it was. Tenjin. Come on, if your girl is drinking you should too. Abanai. Don't tell me you don't have the guts. Rimuru. Fine, just one. Rimuru drank 10. Tenjin. Wow, for someone so reluctant you sure can hold your liquor. Everyone was at least a quarter drunk by now except Michiro, that is for obvious reasons. Rimuru and Abanai were glaring at each other for a while, though the other Hashira could feel the hostility between them. Jayame. Did something happen between you two? Rimuru. A certain incident happened the last time we went to a restaurant together. Abanai. An incident you started. Rimuru. Only because you couldn't keep your jealousy under control. You're crazy if you think I was gonna let you undermine my efforts. Abanai. You're just lucky the situation is so dire that we need demon-loving brats like you. Rimuru. Who are you calling a brat? You're only 3 years older than me, you snake-charming bastard. Lightning sparks could be seen between the two of them. Mitsuri. Let's not fight amongst ourselves please, we've come for a celebration. Seal. Ignore her please do. They both glared at each other and then sat down. Abanai. If Mitsuri didn't ask me I wouldn't even be here. Hani. So Tsujikuni, how long did you train to reach your level of strength? Rimuru. Some of it I was born with and just put to use, but I trained under my master Urakadaki for a year, then we spent another to perfect our sun breathing. Tenjin. Paid off and you became a Hashira in a week, that's gotta be a record. Shinobu. I hope you're not mad about your record being broken, sister. Seal. I'm fine if it's darling. Rengoku. Tsujikuni is indeed strong. When we were fighting upper 3 he held him off with his bare hands. Rimuru. Oh yeah, well, most people here could have done that. Tenjin. Don't be modest, let's not forget how you also punched a hole through upper 5 when we made our last stand against him. I kid you not, he left a giant hole in his chest, it was this big. Rimuru. Yeah, well, I was reckless, I should have swiftly decapitated him then, instead of being petty. Mitsuri. Don't be so modest, I'd say you're probably the strongest out of all of us. Rimuru. I think you may be exaggerating there, Kanroji. Abanai. For once I agree with him. Tsunemi slammed his mug on the table, this got everyone's attention. Tsunemi. Where do you get off acting like you're nothing? What are you trying to pull, especially when you're acting so nice? Now pick a team and stick with it. Rimuru. Shinobu. Shinazagawa, that was quite rude, you may have had too much liquor. Rimuru. No, he's got a point, you're referring to what happened in the cave, aren't you? Biu. You mean on your last mission together? Tsunemi. Damn right I am. Shinobu. What happened there I wonder? Tsunemi. Long story short, we tracked the demons to a cave that had demons with guns. They caught me off guard and I had to get cover. Then when Tsujikuni here showed up, he ripped them apart with his bare hands and continued to until sunrise, then he let them die. Seal. Shinazagawa, you're clearly drunk, darling, is not a torture. Rimuru. No, he's right, I did do that. Everyone was shocked at what they were hearing. Rimuru. If you all are willing to listen I'll tell you. Rimuru had everyone's attention. Rimuru. Once upon a time there was a loving family of 9 that lived in the mountains. They all needed to work hard to survive, but they were happy even when the father died by succumbing to an illness. Though the family was saddened by this, the older siblings did everything they could to fill the void left in their hearts. The oldest always felt fulfilled whenever his younger siblings were happy. He felt in his heart he was to lead them to happiness. They survived by always helping each other. Then one day the 2 oldest brothers left to sell charcoal so they may have a nice family feast for the winter. By the time they were heading back home, it was dark. A man they knew insisted on giving them lodging, though hesitant they accepted, but when they got back home the second oldest brother smelled blood and rushed back home, but when they got home they have revealed an awful sight that no child's eyes should see. Shinobu. They were slaughtered by a demon, weren't they? Rimuru. It was later revealed that the demon was none other than Muzan Kibutsuji himself, but at the time that name had no meaning to them. To this day they wondered, did he know about their bloodline, or was it just happenstance? The oldest brother was broken by this sight. He couldn't think straight. Everything he wanted to protect and keep happy was destroyed. It broke him in a way that couldn't be fixed. He was able to snap back to reality thanks to the words of his younger brother, telling them the oldest sister was the only one who was still alive. They rushed down the mountain desperate to get her help, but she started to wake up. They were relived but still saddened by the loss of the lives of their family. Suddenly, while a swordsman appeared attempting to kill their sister, claiming that their sister was a demon, they stopped him and were offered to become demon slayers in hopes of finding a cure to turn her back into a human. Mitsuri. How tragic. Tsunemi. It's a sad origin story and all, but what does that have to do with the oldest son's split personality? Rimuru. During training the oldest son only had one goal: become stronger to protect what was left of his family and stop the carnage that demons brought. He aimed to be the highest rank of a demon slayer. It was the surest way to protect his siblings if he could. He later succeeded, but things didn't get better when he became a Hashira. He was trusted with more daunting missions. His first one alone was to head to a school where children had been disappearing. He hurried there with no stops or detours in hopes of saving lives in time. But he wasn't fast enough. All the children were dead. Their lifeless bodies dug up dark parts of his trauma. If that wasn't bad enough, when he found the demon, it was taunting him, mocking him for not being fast enough to save them, recollecting how they screamed at that moment in time. The oldest son could only think back to when he first watched a demon die and the feeling he felt then, and it wasn't sadness, pity, regret, or even sorrow. Seal. What was it? Rimuru. Discontent. Everyone had a look of questioning. Rimuru. At the time, no matter how he looked at it, he felt unsatisfied with the fact that the demon received a simple death for all the crimes it committed, for the lives it took. But at that moment in time he was with his siblings, and they had looks on their faces that showed they couldn't share their older brother's feelings, so at the time he simply shook it off. But in this moment in time he was alone with no one but the evil in front of him and his desire to destroy. He didn't think, he just moved. He grabbed the demon by the neck and repeatedly shoved it into the wall. He did this until the wall was shattered. He furiously threw the demon down and looked down upon the demon. It looked up at him in fear, and the look in its eyes, as it felt the pain of being in the receiving end of brutality. As it knew its actions were catching up to it, the brother felt something awaken in him that he never felt before: unbridled pleasure, the knowledge that his opponent would suffer for its crimes, and watching its face as its suffering continued exited the oldest son. So he continued tormenting the demon with a wicked smile on his face until morning arrived and the demon raced to the sun in a hurry. It ended. All this left the oldest son with his thoughts and contemplation on what he did and how it felt. He felt justice was done and that such creatures deserved nothing less, but the pleasure of their suffering drove him near insane. The only thing that stopped him from crossing that line was the thoughts of his remaining family that he loved so much. He couldn't bear to think of what their faces would be like if they saw him like this, but he reached a high that he never wanted to come down from. Once he made the wretched demon suffer, it was something he couldn't simply contain, so whenever he wasn't with his beloved sibling on a mission to kill demons, he made a habit of tormenting them until sunrise, with a wicked smile on his face, whenever doing so making them truly regret all the sins he committed. Though even though he does this, it tears him apart, wondering how much of a monster he truly is. The other Hashira were shocked and surprised at what they were hearing. They couldn't believe that the charismatic, charming, kind and reliable man they knew was a sadist at heart. Rengoku. You're not a monster, because even though you find joy in it, you always prioritize the lives of the innocent before this, don't you? Rimuru. Of course, but Shinobu. It's easy to hate demons. Don't feel bad that you're like many people. Tsunemi. And I thought I was a bit of a freak. Nice to know I'm not alone then. Rimuru. Thanks, guys, I appreciate that, but what I'd appreciate the most is if you don't tell my siblings any of this. Mitsuri. They seem like great people, I'm sure they'd understand. Rimuru. Maybe, but I don't want to risk anything changing. They always hold me on such a pedestal. I give them hope. I don't want to risk that hope being shattered in any way, or I'd never be able to forgive myself. Jayame. If you wish it, then your secret will be kept to the grave. Rimuru. Thank you. Sorry for rambling and thanks for listening, guys. Ryu. Of course we're friends. Rimuru. Right, of course. Now let's not allow confessions to pull down the mood. Let's have another round. As a way to honor his wishes of not bringing it up, the Hashira continued the festivities. The night got later and just about everyone was leaving when Seal pulled Rimuru aside. Seal. Can we talk? Rimuru. Sure, what's up? Seal hugged Rimuru. Rimuru. See, Seal, what are you doing? I told you not to. Seal began to cry. Rimuru hugged her back. Rimuru. Happy birthday, Seal. Seal wiped her tears. Seal. Happy birthday, Master. Seal gave Rimuru a quick kiss. Rimuru. I guess I'll allow that since it's a special day. Seal. I guess being human isn't so bad after all. Then so can we also have Hex again? Rimuru. Okay, now you're pushing it. Seal. Worth a shot. Rimuru. Anyways, I better head home. Tanjiro and Nezuko probably have a small after party planned. Seal. Fine, I won't keep you long. Then something similar could be planned for me anyways. Besides, Shinobu is suspicious enough as it is. They parted ways and headed back to their mansions. Sure enough, they were both right. Small after parties were planned for them. Rimuru. You guys really went all out in the plans, but why didn't you all just join us? Tanjiro. We thought you should have fun without worrying about us. Rimuru. Don't worry, I enjoy your company, all of you. Zenitsu. Even me. Rimuru. If I didn't, you'd be gone. Simple as that. Zenitsu. So you do care. Rimuru. Yeah, and don't worry about getting me a gift. I already have an idea for the best one I can have. Tanjiro. What is it? Rimuru. Not much, just that Zenitsu stays away from Nezuko. Zenitsu. I take it back, sensei is cruel. Rimuru. Now this is a perfect birthday. Rimuru and Abanai were sitting across from each other at a restaurant. Rimuru was eating something skewered on a stick. Rimuru. This is some amazing fried snake. It's even better with a dipping sauce made from their innards. This place is rare, they do them real nice. Who knew a snake could be good for once? Abanai had his arms crossed and a look of disapproval while watching Rimuru feast. Rimuru. Hey Guro wants some of this s. Rimuru pointed it at him. Some of the sauce got on his face. He nonchalantly wiped it off while shaking his head. Rimuru. Oh, you sure you don't want any? They fry them up real good. I never thought snakes could be made useful until I came to this place. Fun fact, I heard snakes don't have the part in the brain that feels empathy, so they'd trade you for a mouse any day of the week. Ain't that interesting, huh? Abanai was steaming red. Rimuru. Oh well, more for me. Rimuru continued to feast. Abanai. F.U. Rimuru had a look of malicious intent in his grin as he replied. Rimuru. After Mitsuri. Abanai screamed as he drew his sword. Rimuru screamed with a psychotic grin as he also drew his sword in just as quick of response, as if waiting for this. The battle resulted in the restaurant being destroyed, and that's why they get along even less than any of the other pillars paired together. Rimuru was at the park waiting on Saki. Rimuru. We made plans to hang out today. I hope that by doing this I can help her know what actual healthy relationships are like. There's a lot I could do, but hopefully that'll be enough. Saki. Hey Rimuru, hope you haven't been waiting long. Rimuru. No, I just got here. Saki was well dressed and didn't have her glasses. Rimuru. You look great. Saki. Thank you. I wasn't sure about this look or if it suited me. Rimuru. It's cute on you. Saki. No one's ever called me cute before. Rimuru. Saki, you alright? Saki. Yeah, I'm fine. Rimuru. Alright then, let's go. Saki. Did you have anything in mind? Rimuru. I thought we could go to the arcade. You told me you liked gaming. Saki. That's fine by me. He remembered. They spent a good amount of time at the arcade. They were both great at the games. They reached high scores on the co-op games, and their records for the games they played against each other were tied. Rimuru also happened to win a plushie for Saki in the crane game. Coincidentally enough, it looked very similar to Rimuru's slime form. Rimuru. Most likely the work of that damned writer. He can be so lazy sometimes. The day continued with them going to a cafe, and soon after they went home they continued hanging out over the summer until they were both starting school. Coincidentally, they were in the same class at seats that were right next to each other. Rimuru. At least he didn't make the job harder on me by separating us. After class, Saki was offered an invitation to hang out with other girls in class. Saki. I was actually going to hang out with a friend after school today, so maybe another time. They made their way home. Rimuru. Are you okay? Seems like something's bothering you. Saki. I'm actually embarrassed to say it, but I don't have too many casual clothes. Rimuru. We can go get some tomorrow if you want. Saki. I think a fashion magazine will help too. Rimuru. If you say so. They separated and viewed different parts of the store. Rimuru. It shouldn't be too long now. Rimuru noticed Hayato making his move, though some things seemed different than usual, more than just the fact he met her outside the store. Hayato. Come on, just come with me. I know a nice place to sit down and relax. Saki. No thank you, I'm actually waiting on someone, so if you'll excuse me. He then grabbed her arm. Saki. Hey, let go. Hayato. Just come with me for a. Hayato's hand was pulled away by none other than Rimuru. Rimuru. You should know that no means no. Hayato. This isn't any of your business. Rimuru. Beg to differ, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave her alone. The snake with a leather jacket tried to push Rimuru, but he simply parried both of his arms and grabbed them. He pulled him in and kneed him in the face. Rimuru. I said leave. Hayato got on his feet and walked past Rimuru. He then reached in his pocket for knife. Saki. Behind you. Hayato. Burn in hell, bastard. Rimuru grabbed his wrist and twisted it and punched Hayato 3 times, one in the face, another in the throat, and a third in the stomach. He then kicked him in his manhood before knocking him unconscious. Rimuru. Guess we should call the police on him. Hayato was arrested for attempted sexual assault, attempted murder, and possession of illegal drugs. He was later found guilty and sentenced to 30 years in prison, where he suffered from severe ed. Saki's feelings for Rimuru only increased since that day. Rimuru. Well, that's one problem solved. I hope this is enough for him to send me back now. Rimuru's phone got another text. He read it as he was lying on his bed. Sorry, you've done good, but you're not done just yet, Mikami. Rimuru. Are you kidding me? How long am I gonna have to be here? Until I and the readers and I are satisfied, and anyways, just because the major problem is out of the way doesn't mean that you're done just yet. Rimuru. Of course I'm not. You're way too sadistic to let me off that easy. Hey, I may be a sadist, but give me a bit more credit. I gave you rich parents in this timeline that helped prove that delinquent bastard's guilt, and you gave him a good and just permanent injury. Rimuru. I've always been one for poetic justice, as you know. Well, good night. Your body's still human, so get some sleep for now. Rimuru. Wow, that almost sounds like you care. Think and say what you want, I know the truth. Rimuru turned off his phone and went to sleep. To the Swordsmith village. Auma arrived at the Infinity Castle after being summoned. Auma. What a shame, it seems another one of my cherished comrades has been eliminated. First my buddy Akaza, who else could have possibly fallen? Dayako. Greetings, Lord Dauma. Auma. Hi Jayako, thank you again for the pot you gave me, it truly fits well with a woman's head. Jayako. After a few tries myself I must say it is intriguing. Naoma looked at Nakam and called out to her in the distance. Naoma. Biwa lady, has Lord Muzan arrived? Nakam strum note. Nakam. I can say with certainty he has not. Naoma. Well, has Lord Kakishibo arrived? I hope he hasn't been killed, that would be a tragedy. Nakam. He's the first one I've summoned, in fact he's been here all along. Naoma looked at the direction in which Kakishibo was sitting in a corner by a window. Kakishibo. I've been here the entire time. Naoma. Oh, that's good news. I was worried those troublesome grandnephews and niece of yours had defeated you. They did nearly kill us, so I was worried for your safety. Kakishibo said nothing and only tensed at those words. Antengu. How terrifying, those children have been causing countless problems, killing all that stand in their way. They're terrifying ever since I heard about them. I can never stop shaking. There's the boy that mastered the terrifying yet eerily familiar breathing. Antengu. And that girl who became a demon and yet with no blood, creates a fire that incinerates demons and their arts, while healing her comrades. She's equally if not more terrifying. Antengu. And worst of all, the oldest among them that reached Hashira level a week after becoming a demon slayer with unmatched physical strength on par with a demon's and has been torturing any demon he comes across. He's by far the most terrifying. Antengu wailed and held his head in fear. Antengu. They're terrifying. Kakishibo. It seems Lord Muzan has arrived. Muzan was above them mixing unknown chemicals. Muzan. Gyutaro is no longer with us, meaning yet another spot in the upper ranks is incomplete. Naoma. Oh, is that true, my lord? No, you have my sincerest apologies, since I was the one who brought Gyutaro, and how can I atone for this embarrassment? Let's see, I can gouge an eye out, or maybe. Muzan. Keep your wretched eyeballs, I have no need for them. Despite his new abilities and strategies, I knew Gyutaro would be defeated as expected. Daki proved to be his weakness still. Even if he fought alone from the start, there's no guarantee he would have won if the battle hadn't gone on after he poisoned them. Oh well, none of it matters anymore. How worthless, can't you see you're falling in order of who has the most of their humanity remaining? For example, Akaza had was too picky on whom he would devour. But I guess that's fine, it's nothing new. I've come to learn I should expect nothing from you. Naoma. I keep saying it, poor Akaza fell because he never ate women as they have more nutrients. His naivety was why he died. Regardless, you're saying such tragic things again. But think about it, has there ever been a time I didn't meet your expectations, my lord? Muzan. For starters, you have yet to annihilate the Yabayashiki family and whatever became of the blue spider lily, and who could forget your ultimate failure to capture the girl that has conquered the sun? Muzan placed his hands on the table he was experimenting with the chemicals on in fury. Muzan. Centuries have passed and you have nothing to show for it. Answer me this, why do you exist when your sole purpose has become to disappoint me, especially when you can't do the most important thing I ask of you? The vials were all destroyed. Antengu. Jaya, please. Kakishibo. I have nothing to say in response. However, Yabayashiki is a master at evading us, and we both know that Tsujikuni are nothing to be trifled with and wouldn't have fallen so easily. Naoma. I'm afraid detective work isn't my strong point, either. I'm at my wit's end here. As for the Tsujikuni, there's a reason why even you evaded them, isn't there? Muzan winced at this. Dayako. Pardon me, Lord Muzan, but I have something for you. You see, I've acquired some juicy information that I think will interest you, information that can change everything. Just a mere moment ago. Muzan. Have I ever told you lot how much I detest change? Dayako's head appeared in Muzan's hand as he went on about his hate for change and desire for permanence. Muzan. For the second time in over a century an upper rank has been killed. My frustration is well beyond its boiling point, Jayako. Once you have confirmed that information to be true, you will head over there with Hantengu at once. Muzan then exited the castle. Hantengu. Yes, understood, my lord. As Jayako got his head to stand up straight, Dauma walked towards him. Dauma. Lord Jayako, what kind of information do you have? I'd like to tag along. Jayako. But that wouldn't be ... Dauma. You can tell little old me I won't tell anyone. Jayako. You see, I would, but those weren't. Dauma. It's fine, I promise, and anyways, this information, it wouldn't happen to be about the troublesome Tsujikuni or the Kacho, would it? Dauma said this with a surprisingly serious face that was unnatural to everyone present. Dayako. I'm afraid not. If you'll excuse me, I must go. Dayako shook his head away from Dauma's grasp and walked to face Nakam. Dayako. Please send Hantengu and myself to the same location as fast as possible. With 2 strums, Nakam transported them. Dauma. Biwa lady, send me too. There was no response. Dauma. Hello, I know you can hear me, you're free to join me down here if you want. Nakam. I respectfully decline. Nakam strummed her biwa again, and Dauma was back in his seat at his cult. Dauma. Oh, you guys are always so cold to me. Well, I suppose that doesn't matter, and here I was hoping to hear more about those two. Dauma looked down with a serious expression on his face. Dauma. Both those girls have been quite troublesome for me. I've never felt emotions like this before. That demon girl and the woman with light blue hair, they both said similar things that reached me in a way I couldn't imagine. Could this be frustration? I don't know why I want to see them both suffer so much. Alma was told the disciples have arrived. Alma. Oh, is that right? Well then let's not keep them waiting. I just need to put this on and I'll be ready. Alma put on his hat. Alma. That's much better, you can send them in now. Meanwhile, Rimuru was by himself taking his time with a demon. He had his foot on the demon's head. Rimuru. If I had gotten here a second sooner you would have slaughtered that poor family, wouldn't you? Demon. How the hell do you have this much physical strength? Rimuru. Book you, that's how. Rimuru said this while slowly applying pressure to the demon's head. The demon in question was on the verge of tears, as its limbs were also gone. Hamamoto flew down on a nearby branch. Rimuru. Hamamoto, I thought I asked not to be interrupted when working unless it's an emergency. Hamamoto. Forgive me, Lord Rimuru, but you told me to remind you when the day you were to go to the swordsmith village would arrive. Rimuru. Oh, is that tomorrow? I guess I better get back then. Well, looks like it's this guy's lucky day. Rimuru swiftly decapitated the demon and left without a second thought. Rimuru. Can't get that new sword soon enough. I'll need a more durable one. The two I asked for are near giving out with all the strength I use with them. I'll have to prepare some Mitarashi dango so he doesn't make too much of a fuss. Rimuru made it back to his mansion where he saw Nezuko in the garden eating a fish cake. Nezuko. Brother, where have you been? Rimuru. Oh, just doing things. Nezuko. Since when do you do things? Rimuru. I do things all the time. I take enthusiastic walks in the woods. Nezuko. Don't you kill demons in that time? Rimuru. Very enthusiastic walks. Now come on, let's get to sleep. We've got to go to the swordsmith village in the morning. Nezuko. Well, alright, but make sure you get enough sleep. Tanjiro and I are worried you're working yourself too hard. Rimuru. I'm fine, I just need some tea and I'll be out like a light. It's not that late after all. Nezuko. Well, that's nice to hear. I made some of your favorite tea in case you came back early. Rimuru. You're a sweetheart, Nezuko. Nezuko. Thank you. Rimuru drank the tea and went to sleep, but he tossed and turned in the night till he awoke in a cold sweat. He held his face and wiped off the sweat. Rimuru. That same nightmare again. Rimuru began his morning routine and got ready for the day. Rimuru. We have until noon before the Kakushi come for us, but still I'd expect more of them to be up by now. Rimuru used universal perception to check on them. Rimuru. They're still sleeping and seriously. Wait a minute. Rimuru inspected more closely and realized that none of them were really in their beds. Rimuru. Well, if they aren't here there's only one place they could be. The only place I wouldn't go, but unlucky for them this is a rare time I would actually go there. Rimuru entered the flower mansion. He was greeted by Kiyosumi and Neho. Kiyosumi and Neho. Hi Mr. Rimuru. Rimuru. Hey you three, I hope you're all doing well. Sorry for barging in. Kiyo. Don't be, you're always welcome. What brings you here? Rimuru. I'm just looking for my Tsuguko. Have you seen them? Kiyo. No, we haven't. Sumi. They haven't come by at all. Neho. We haven't seen them. Rimuru knelt down to be at their height and looked at them with charming eyes. Rimuru. Are you sure? The girls were all completely charmed. Meanwhile, Aoi. Will you stop stealing the ingredients? I've told you they aren't ready to eat yet. Inosuke. And I've told you I didn't care, they taste fine as they are. Aoi. Geez, you never listen, do you? Inosuke. No one tells me what to do. Inosuke was cut off as he looked behind Aoi and saw his sensei with a very fake yet menacing grin. Later Rimuru was apologizing to Aoi. Rimuru. I'm sorry if he was bothering you, I'll make sure he learns his lesson. Aoi. Alright, thank you Lord Rimuru. Rimuru bowed as he left while dragging an unconscious Inosuke with a swell on his head by the collar. Aoi. I'm glad he got out okay after taking my place on that mission, but I didn't realize he could be so scary. Still I can understand why Big Sis Seal likes him. He's gotta be tough to control, that idiot. Meanwhile, Zenitsu was sitting with Nezuko working up some courage to get closer to her. Zenitsu. Come on, just do it. Hold her hand. I may never get a chance like this again. Zenitsu slowly moved his hand closer to hers while closing his eyes. He then felt contact. Zenitsu. I did it. How her hand feels quite rough for some reason. Zenitsu opened his eyes. Zenitsu. Sensei, how is he here? He usually never comes here to stay away from Seal. Where is she anyways? Rimuru. What were you two doing here, I wonder? Zenitsu looked to see Rimuru sitting in between them with a terrifying aura. Nezuko. Brother, I'm glad you're feeling better. Zenitsu said you weren't feeling well and couldn't come with us. Rimuru. Is that so? Zenitsu was in a state beyond fear. Rimuru. Nezuko, will you give Zenitsu and me a minute? Nezuko. Why? Rimuru. I just want to talk to him. Nezuko. Okay. Nezuko walked off, leaving. A couple of minutes later Rimuru returned dragging a Zenitsu with bruises all over his face alongside Inosuke. Rimuru. Honestly, you all could stand to be more disciplined like Tanjiro. Zenitsu. Rimuru. Where's Tanjiro? Zenitsu. Am I just? Rimuru. Do and Car, where's Tanjiro? Rimuru found Tanjiro sparring with Kanao again. Rimuru. Well, I guess he's at least still training Tanjiro. Tanjiro and Kanao both stop their attacks. Rimuru. It's time to go, come on. Tanjiro. Alright brother, I'll see you later. Kanao, thanks for sparring with me again. Kanao. Of course, I enjoyed it as well. Rimuru. Looks like that coin really wants you two to spar. Tanjiro. Actually, she hasn't been flipping it recently. Rimuru. Is that so? They all made their way back to Rimuro's mansion, though Zenitsu and Inosuke were still unconscious, so Rimuru dragged them by their collars. Rimuru. Alright maggots, we've got some time before the Kikuchi arrive at the mansion, so I think this is a prime time to recite the pecking order. Now all of you, what's the pecking order? Zenitsu. It goes us, the dirt, the worms inside the dirt, your stool, Nezuko, Tanjiro, then you. Rimuru. Any questions? Zenitsu. Yeah, I. Rimuru socked Zenitsu, sending him flying while he screamed. Rimuru. Enjoy the run back, bitch. Zenitsu ran back quickly while knowing the consequences of keeping his sensei waiting. Rimuru. Now any more questions? Inosuke. Yeah, I. Rimuru threw a dog biscuit at Inosuke, knocking him off his feet, sending him flying a short distance before he fell to the ground. His mask fell off in the process. Rimuru. Good, now we can begin our important and essential lessons for a demon slayer. Zenitsu. Please don't be what I think it is. Rimuru. Dodge. Tanjiro jumped out of the way while both Inosuke and Zenitsu were sent flying, which led to Rimuru bursting out in laughter. Nezuko was watching them train, quite unamused. Nezuko. Does he always have to be so hard on them? Well, at least he's going easier on them today. Their training continued until the Kikuchi that would take them to the swordsmith village arrived. Rimuru set the Kikuchi assigned to him aside to talk to him. Rimuru. Listen, I'll give you 100,000 yen if you get me to the swordsmith village at a faster pace than everyone else. No questions asked, deal. Kikuchi. If you say so, Lord Rimuru, I accept. Rimuru. You sure you'll be able to keep a faster pace? Kikuchi. Of course, I could do this job all day. Rimuru. Okay, Captain America. Kikuchi. Who's Captain America? Rimuru. Don't worry about it. They made the trip to the swordsmith village, though Rimuru arrived 30 minutes earlier than everyone else. Rimuru. This place is well built, thanks for the ride. Kikuchi. It was my pleasure, Lord Rimuru. Before I leave, I would advise you greet the chief before doing anything else. Rimuru. Thanks, I'll be sure to do that. Have a safe trip back. Oh, and here's what I promised. Rimuru handed the Kikuchi 100,000 yen. He then walked off while waving at the Kikuchi. Rimuru. Pleasure doing business with you. Kikuchi. He's such a devoted and disciplined Hashira. He did what he could to arrive before the others. He must have wanted to handle his business here as quickly and efficiently as possible. Rimuru. I'll see the chief, but not until after something much more essential that I need to do. Rimuru got out of sight and completely concealed his presence and hastily made it to the hot springs and saw a sight he's always wanted to behold. Rimuru. Everything I've been through on this journey has now been made worth it. Seal. WGS-sama. Oh great, let me guess you're upset that you can't come on this next arc and that you couldn't even see Rimuru off. Seal. Did you have to send me on the northern expedition in Zenitsu's place? Hey, you're not alone, isn't Shinobu with you as well? Seal. That's not the point. Look, I already overstepped things by making Gyutaro and Daki strong enough for the both of you. I'm not doing that again. Not to mention the normal formula is we travel alongside a different Hashira every season. Seal. It wouldn't have been that hard. You're just worried he may get back into his Mitsuri phase, like when he was human, aren't you? And I'm positive this isn't just my imagination. Seal. Seal. Let's see those memes you found today. Yeah, that's what I thought. Tanjiro. What's wrong, dog? Zenitsu. Rimuru's training. Tanjiro. It's not that bad. Zenitsu. Not everyone is a freak of nature like the two of you. Rimuru. Breaks over maggots. Tanjiro. Coming, brother. Zenitsu cried the whole way as Tanjiro was dragging him to the training. Time for today's Taisho era secret. Rimuru has had nightmares every single night ever since the day Muzan killed their family, but his dreams weren't as bad whenever he slept with Seal, though he will under no circumstances let her know this. Seal grinned ear to ear. Seal. I knew he needed me, now I know, and will make sure to comfort him every night. You know these parts aren't canon, right? Seal. Thanks for reading. Stealing my lines, really, now you're just being petty. Ichaku, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu and Inosuke arrived at the village. They thanked their Kikuchi, and Tanjiro apologized on Inosuke's behalf for all the squirming he did and how difficult he made their trip. Tanjiro. We should visit the hot springs while we're here, they're said to do wonders for a person's body. Zenitsu. If sensei even gives us a chance to rest. Inosuke. I'll show him, I'll soar through whatever he has in store for us. Nezuko. I'm glad you aren't losing motivation. Inosuke. Zenitsu. It doesn't matter if sensei calls on the forces of a god, I'll conquer all his training. Nezuko. Oh, I'm glad you found your motivation. Zenitsu. Tanjiro. Oh look, there's brother. Hey brother, over here. Rimuru was waiting at the chief's meeting place for the rest of his Tsuguko to arrive. They finally started to arrive. Rimuru. Took you guys long enough. Nezuko. Sorry to keep you waiting, brother. Rimuru. I'm just kidding, my Kikuchi was just a bit faster is all, and don't worry, I was able to keep myself occupied. Tanjiro. We should check out the hot springs while we're here, brother. Rimuru. Good idea, but first we need to greet the chief. Rimuru. And whatever you two do, don't embarrass me in front of the chief. They all sat to greet the chief. Tekken. I'm glad you all made it here safely. My name is Tekken Kawahara, and I'm the chief of this village. Nice to meet you. Inosuke. How come he's so small? Rimuru nonchalantly punched Inosuke to the wall, surprising everyone. Rimuru. Please forgive my Tsuguko's lack of manners. Tekken. Oh, it's quite alright, I might be the smallest person in this village, but I'm also the most important now. If you don't mind, I'd like to see the quality of the bow you use to show respect. Rimuru, Tanjiro and Nezuko all bowed the lowest they could, while Zenitsu did a half bow. Rimuru. I'm Rimuru Tsujikuni. Tanjiro. I'm Tanjiro Tsujikuni. Nezuko. And I'm Nezuko Tsujikuni. Zenitsu. Zenitsu Agatsuma. Tekken. Oh my, what fine young people, please help yourselves to some sweets. Tanjiro. Thank you very much, sir. Nezuko ate some. Nezuko. These are delicious. Tekken. Indeed, oh, I know you're here for Haderu, but unfortunately he's gone missing for a while now. Tekken then explained that ever since Rimuru became a Hashira, he's mysteriously disappeared. Tekken. That boy always has been known to wander off when upset, but behavior like this is simply unheard of from him. I have been a bit concerned myself. Rimuru. Is that so? I hope he's okay. Tekken. More importantly, I understand that after your recent battles, you need newer swords that are more befitting of a Hashira and his high-ranking Tsuguko, so if we can't find him, I will assign someone else to be the swordsmith for you and your brother. Rimuru. Thank you, sir, I appreciate it. Oh, and I think it would be wise to tell the swordsmith assigned to Inosuke that he prefers a specific design for his swords, and I don't just mean the fact that he's a dual wielder. Tekken. I see, we'll make sure they follow your detailed instructions. In the meantime, while you wait, feel free to stop at the hot springs. You should go, your body will thank you. They got a guide to show them to the hot springs. Zenitsu. Hot springs sound nice, I can't wait. I could definitely use them after the hellish training I've had to endure. Rimuru. A shame you and Inosuke won't be going. Zenitsu. What, why? Rimuru. It's your punishment, you both will be doing training until we all get back. Zenitsu. But why that's so unfair? Punished for what? Rimuru. You didn't bow low enough when greeting the chief and Inosuke. Well, I shouldn't even have to say it, so you both will be doing endurance training until we get back. Zenitsu. But sensei, that's so unfair. And Rimuru. Pecking order. Later. Zenitsu. Why the hell is sensei so cruel all the time? Inosuke. This, is nothing. Both Zenitsu and Inosuke were in squatted positions, holding stones in their hands and heads over eggs. They were told to keep that position until they all got back. Nezuko. Brother, don't you think that was too harsh? Rimuru. Look, the ugly truth of the matter is that they're both at a lower level than the rest of us. They need all the training they can get. Nezuko. I suppose that's true. Rimuru. And besides. Rimuru looked back at Nezuko while pointing behind her. Rimuru. Those two deserved it for being so rude and embarrassing me. Nezuko. I'm starting to think brother is a sadist. Rimuru. What? No, that's not true. Where would you get that idea? Tanjiro. Nezuko, it's not nice to call brother such things. Nezuko. Tanjiro, you can't tell me that you honestly think our brother's methods aren't too cruel. Tanjiro. Maybe, but I trust my brother's judgment and it's not like he doesn't get results. Nezuko sighed. Nezuko. Of course Tanjiro would side with him. They approached the stairway to the hot springs thanks to their guide. When they heard a scream, the source was revealed to be none other than the love Hashira Mitsuri. Mitsuri. Rimuru, Tanjiro, Nezuko, you're all here, you're all really here. Tanjiro. Watch out, please be careful, your breasts are this close to spilling out. Tanjiro closed up Mitsuri's yukata before they could spill out. Rimuru. Buzzkill. Mitsuri. Listen, you've got to listen to me. Rimuru. What's wrong? Mitsuri. Somebody ignored me just now, all I did was say hello, and he ignored me. Rimuru. How rude. Tanjiro. Well, who was it? Mitsuri. I don't know, I asked him his name, but he ignored that too. Isn't that awful? And I'm a Hashira, all the good vibes I got from my bath have been cancelled out. Nezuko. If it helps, I heard dinner's going to be ready soon, and it's Matsute rice. Doesn't that sound delicious? Mitsuri. What, really? Mitsuri's mood immediately changed as she excitedly left. Tanjiro. I guess she's a hearty eater. Rimuru. Yeah, she's a bit of a glutton, reminds me of another girl I know. Nezuko suddenly pushed Rimuru. Nezuko. Brother, stop calling me that. Rimuru. Calm down, I'm just teasing. They made it to the top, and the hot spring was massive and seemed mostly empty. Rimuru. Looks like it's perfect for a nice soak. Tanjiro. Ow. Rimuru. What's wrong, are you okay? Tanjiro. It's a tooth. Rimuru. Gross. Both brothers looked in the direction in which the tooth came from. Tanjiro. That mohawk-style haircut. Rimuru. Oh, that must be Sanemi's brother, makes sense, he's the spitting image, we should just ignore H. Tanjiro. Genya Shinazagawa. He looked in their direction. Genya. Die. Tanjiro was shocked. Rimuru. I've had it up to here with these Bakugo-type characters. Tanjiro took off his clothes and jumped into the hot springs. Tanjiro. How have you been? I meant to ask, are you and the wind Hashira related? He tried to shove Tanjiro under the water, but he dodged and got behind him faster than Genya could notice. Genya. Stop trying to make small talk with me, damn it. Genya then soon left the hot spring. Tanjiro. And here I thought we could bond in our nakedness. Nezuko. Not everyone may be as comfortable with that. Rimuru. Yeah, that's true. Anyways, you and Nezuko can go soak for a bit, I'll be right back. Nezuko. If you say so. Rimuru was walking down the stairs until he saw Genya. Rimuru. Hey Genya. Genya. What do you want? Rimuru. Geez, you and your brother are so like. Look, I just wanted to talk for a second. Genya. Don't act like we're friends for even a second. Rimuru. Oh, don't worry, I'm aware of that. Regardless of what my brother wants, I have no intention of being friends with you. Don't flatter yourself. Genya. Then what the hell do you want? Rimuru zoomed right beside Genya as his aura completely changed. Rimuru. When in the presence of a Hashira you should speak to them with proper manners, even your brother could manage that much, so I expect you to apologize to Mitsuri when you get the chance, that is if you don't want everyone to know about your little dietary secret. Genya said nothing and only tensed up at those words. Rimuru. Genya. Veins were visible on Genya's shoulders. Rimuru. From here on out you are to show some respect, do you understand? Genya. Oh, I understand. I understand. Once this is over I'll destroy you. Rimuru. Is that so? Rimuru took some steps up the stairs. Rimuru. Funny, your brother said the same thing to me once, so I'll tell you what I told him, you can try. Rimuru vanished from his sight. Later, after their soak, Rimuru, Tanjiro, and Nezuko were eating dinner with Mitsuri. Tanjiro. Wow, that's impressive. Mitsuri. You think so, but I only nibbled, to be honest. Nezuko. You don't need to hold back if you're still hungry. Tanjiro. Oh right, the guy you met at the hot spring was Genya Shinazagawa, he's also a swordsman. Mitsuri. What did you say? Shinazagawa, that would make him the Wind Hashira's brother, but he didn't have a younger brother, he insisted. Rimuru. Strange, when I asked him if he did he said he had siblings in the past and only has a brother left, most likely implying that the rest of them were dead. I'd assume a demon attack. Mitsuri. Maybe they're on bad terms. How heart-wrenching. He did apologize for ignoring me recently, so his brother can't be that bad a guy. Nezuko. Interesting. Tanjiro. I wonder what happened. Mitsuri. Still, to know this much about him you must be a close friend of his. I assumed as much when you two had that private chat. Rimuru. We're not friends, we just ... Rimuru flashed back to the times that they were on missions together and how they slaughtered demons brutally each time they battled together, laughing like maniacs all the way. Rimuru. ... Have occasional agreements. Nezuko. Your hair is so pretty. Mitsuri. Mitsuri. Why thank you, I love yours as well. Nezuko. The hot springs were lovely, weren't they? Mitsuri. Yes, though I must confess I did get an uncomfortable feeling at some point. Nezuko. Really, how so? Mitsuri. Well, it's strange to say, but despite not seeing, hearing or sensing anyone, I got the feeling of being watched, even though I'm positive no one was there. Nezuko. Is that so? How awful. Who could be so disgusting as to do such a thing? Rimuru tensed up at those words. Tanjiro. They seem to be getting along nicely. Rimuru. Yeah, that's good. I was thinking Nezuko should hang out with more girls when she gets the chance. Mitsuri. I have 4 siblings in my family and we all get along pretty well, so it's hard for me to fathom what the Shinazagawa brothers could be going through. Tanjiro. Speaking of which, Genya still hasn't shown up. I was hoping we could at least have a talk. Mitsuri. I don't think he's coming at all. I heard some of the villagers say he never takes meals, he probably brought food with him. Tanjiro. But what if he didn't? I'll bring him some rice balls just in case. Mitsuri. Good idea, I'll come too. Rimuru. Well, if you insist. They were all walking to Genya's room. Rimuru was finishing the cup of tea he had, taking sips while walking. Tanjiro. Miss Kanroji, would you join the Demon Slayer Corps? Mitsuri. Oh my, it's kind of embarrassing. I shouldn't say, or should I? Okay, fine. Rimuru. Oh, here we go. Mitsuri. I joined hoping to find a man, one I could spend forever with. I mean, any girl would prefer someone stronger than her, right? After all, we want to feel protected, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's hard for a boy to understand. I knew Hashira were strong, so I thought one of them would be perfect. That's why I worked my hardest to become a Hashira myself. Tanjiro had a look of question and wonder. Meanwhile, Nezuko had a look of admiration. Rimuru simply sipped his tea, already aware of her answer. Nezuko. If that's so, then how about Rimuru? Rimuru spat out his tea and started coughing, seeming to have choked a bit. Rimuru. Nezuko, don't joke about such things, he said, quite flustered. Nezuko. I'm not joking about anything. You should find a partner soon. Mitsuri. I mean ... I have ... considered it, Mitsuri said while blushing. Rimuru also blushed at this. Nezuko. Mitsuri is a kind and pure girl, brother, you should. Rimuru covered her mouth. Rimuru. This discussion is over. They arrived at the place Genya was staying and it was revealed to be empty. Mitsuri. It looks like Genya isn't here. The female Kikuchi arrived to tell Mitsuri her sword was near completion and she should come to test it. Mitsuri. Oh dear, it looks like I'll have to go now. Nezuko. That's a shame. Tanjiro. If you'd like we could take you. Mitsuri. That's alright, I'll probably be leaving in the middle of the night. Tanjiro. Really, but that makes sense. Mitsuri. Thanks for offering. While we may not live to see each other ever again, let's give it our all. Rimuru. Though anything can happen, I have a feeling we may see each other again soon. Mitsuri. Good luck you three, I'll be rooting for you every step of the way. Rimuru. I know, right? Rimuru whispered to his siblings. Tanjiro. Thank you, Miss Kanroji, I've still got a ways to go, I'll work even harder to defeat Muzan Kibutsuji. Mitsuri. Say Rimuru, you've all been granted permission for a long stay, right? Rimuru. All of our swords may take a while, so yes. Mitsuri got in between Rimuru and Tanjiro and whispered in their ears. Mitsuri. Well, apparently there's a secret weapon in this village that will make you even stronger, try to find it, okay? Mitsuri then began to leave while waving goodbye. Mitsuri. Bye now. Rimuru. Oh wait Mitsuri, there's one more thing I needed to tell you. Mitsuri. What is it? Rimuru put on a more serious expression as he said these words. Rimuru. Sakura matches. Mitsuri looked slightly surprised and then put on a more serious expression. Mitsuri. That sounds delicious, when might we have some? Rimuru. It'll take a while to make, so you should wait about a week, I'll see if anyone wants any as well. Mitsuri. I see, I can't wait. They looked at each other with serious expressions, then nodded to each other. Rimuru. I'll be heading back now, I hear Michiro is also on this mountain, I should see if he wants some as well. Mitsuri. I see. Their expressions then reverted back to normal. Rimuru. Thanks for the info on the weapon, we'll try to find it soon. Mitsuri. Of course, it's my pleasure. Rimuru regrouped with Tanjiro and Nezuko. Tanjiro. What were you two talking about? Rimuru. Oh, nothing important. Nezuko. Were you starting to woo her? Rimuru. No, and don't say such embarrassing things like that. Nezuko. But Brother Seal is clearly too impure to be with you, you should marry someone like Mitsuri instead. Rimuru. Can we stop talking about my love life? Tanjiro. Rimuru. What's up? Tanjiro. I feel like we've forgotten something. Rimuru. If you forgot it, it couldn't have been that important. Tanjiro. I suppose you're right. Nezuko. Wait, Zenitsu and Inosuke are still training, aren't they? Rimuru. Oh yeah, forgot. Nezuko. No, you didn't. Rimuru. No, I didn't. Nezuko. Come on, you need to go tell them they can stop. Rimuru. I'd say they could use the extra training. Nezuko. Brother, now. Rimuru. Okay, I'll go tell them they can stop, I'm going. Rimuru dashed off to relive Zenitsu and Inosuke of their training. Nezuko sighed. Nezuko. Honestly, I worry about him so much. Tanjiro. I do too, but brother is amazing, so he'll be fine. Nezuko. Maybe, but I'd feel better if he wasn't so harsh in his training. Alma. Oh, I miss my best buddy and the way we'd always mess around with each other. Don't you mean you teasing him and him punching you? Alma. Rider guy, is there no way to bring him back? There is, but he told me he'd rather stay dead than spend another second around you, now please F off. Alma. But you must be lonely too if you're in situations like this all the time talking with fictional characters. We should be friends, I'm currently desperate enough. No wonder everyone hates you. Nezuko. Rimuru, do something before it happens again. Rimuru. Nezuko, you and I both know there's nothing that I can do, WGS. You guys are on your own. Rimuru. Are you serious? Look, there are some things even I can't do, best we just hide for now. For today's Taisho era secret, this time we'll know what the other Hashira think of Rimuru. Shinobu. He's a strong and kind enough person who cares about his family, I respect him for that, I understand why Seal likes him. Tenjin. He's powerful, so powerful it's almost scary, still he's one of the most flamboyant swordsmen I've ever seen. He's quite pretty for a guy. Mitsuri. He's such a pretty boy and powerful too, the way he cares for his family so much is just too adorable. Jaime. Though he hides darkness in his heart, he doesn't let it stop him from having a playful and kind personality. He seems to care for Seal more than he lets on. Ryu. He talks to me whenever he sees me, he's even made me salmon dakin from time to time. He's one of the only people who I can consider a mutual friend. Aijiro. To have such talent to become a Hashira in a week is impressive. His strength is amazing, to have fought several of the 12 Kizuki and escape alive in one piece is an amazing feat of his. I'm envious of his strength. Michiro. I get an unexplainable familiar feeling when I'm around him and his siblings. Abanai. I'm not fond of him in the least, still I can't help but notice his overwhelming strength. I'm still certain there's some relation between him and Seal. Tsunemi. I can respect him. Pani. I can tell he's a good person at heart, I love the way he cares for his family. I understand why Seal likes him. Seal. I'd be here for weeks if I said everything I love about him, though if I had to list one, it's his love for his family is so cute, every moment I spend reunited with him is absolute bliss. Bukaranai. Another morning arrived in the swordsmith village. Rimuru just woke up, he saw everyone else in the middle of breakfast. Rimuru. Oh hey guys, good morning. Nezuko. It's not like you to sleep in so much, brother. Rimuru. Well, I actually had a pretty nice rest. I guess those hot springs work wonders, no nightmares tonight, they really do have great healing power. Tanjiro. Do you have any plans for today, brother? Zenitsu. Not more training, I hope. Rimuru. Well, today I thought we could take a break from training. I'm curious about that weapon Mitsuri spoke of, and I heard Michiro is in the village as well, and I wanted to talk to him. Tanjiro. Michiro, wasn't that the name of the Miss Hashira? Rimuru. Yep, and he's actually our cousin. Tanjiro. What, Nezuko? Really? Rimuru. At one of the meetings I think I heard his crow mention that he was a descendant of sun-breathing users. Shinobu also found a relation in our blood when treating us. Tanjiro. Is that so? Then I can't wait to meet him. Rimuru. Well, a little warning about him, he can be a bit inconsiderate, he doesn't mean anything by it though. Nezuko. Have you talked with him much? Rimuru. Well, I have been on a few missions with him and I do occasionally talk to him. Tanjiro. I'm sure we'll get along fine. Rimuru. Now before we go, what's the one thing I always tell you guys? Zenitsu. Dodge. Rimuru. The other one thing. Inosuke. Dying is gay. Rimuru. The other one thing. Nezuko. If C. Lever asks for you, always tell her you're not here. Rimuru. The other one thing. Tanjiro. Sharpen the weapon that is your mind. Rimuru. That's right, Tanjiro, I'm glad you at least got it right. Nezuko. In our defense, you say a lot of things. Rimuru. Fair enough. Rimuru and his Tsuguko left for the mountain to search for the weapon. They split up into two groups. Inosuke and Zenitsu searched in a different location from Rimuru, Tanjiro and Nezuko. Rimuru. You picking up anything? Tanjiro. Anything that smells like a weapon. Tanjiro. Nothing, but in hindsight my sense of smell may be off. The hot spring really reeks. Rimuru. Ah, makes sense, hot springs are known to have strong smells. Ask all you want, I'm not giving it to you. I don't have time to argue with you, I came here for it and I'm not leaving without it. Rimuru. It's Michiro and a kid. Tanjiro. That is him, I remember him from the meeting. Just how many Hashira are here? Rimuru. Counting me 3 that I know of. Nezuko. It seems they're arguing about something. Michiro gave out his hand. Michiro. Give me the key. Tetsu. In your dreams, my ancestor made this and it's precious to me. Nezuko. Hold on, is someone else behind him? The 3 of them looked and saw someone with hair and earrings similar to Tanjiro. Tanjiro. Wait, Nezuko. That looks just like Rimuru. Grandfather Yoriichi. Tetsu. Get out of here, you can't make me give you the key, and even if you did I won't show you how to use it. Tanjiro. What should we do? It's rude to eavesdrop, but if they are fighting we should try to help, shouldn't we? Michiro chopped Katetsu on the neck, causing him to fall to the ground. He then picked him up by the shirt. Tanjiro. Stop it. Tanjiro ran out of the bushes in hopes of stopping the fight. Rimuru and Nezuko soon followed. Tanjiro. What are you doing? Let him go. Michiro. There's no need to be so noisy. Who are you? Wait, I've seen you before, haven't I? Tanjiro. How could you treat a kid like that? You shouldn't do such cruel things. Tanjiro was holding Michiro's arm and forced Michiro to let go. Michiro. You're stronger than I thought. I'm surprised you're not a Hashira yet. Rimuru. Michiro, what is going on here? Michiro. Oh, Rimuru, it's you. Nezuko was checking on Katetsu. Nezuko. Are you alright? Katetsu looked up at Nezuko and became quite flustered. Katetsu. I'm fine. Nezuko. Are you sure? You could be dizzy. Katetsu-ji, get off me, I'm not giving the key to anyone, even if you torture me. If I do you'll only break it. Rimuru. Alright, let's just calm down about this talk of torture. What's going on? Michiro. I wanted the key to activate that doll. It seemed like it would be a good use for training. This boy has been wasting the time of a Hashira. Rimuru. Michiro, it doesn't matter who we are, what you were doing was rude. Just because we're Hashira doesn't give us the authority to do what we want in any situation, despite our higher ranking. In fact, it gives less reason, because as Hashira, we need to set an example and show respect to others. The master would be disappointed if he saw you acting this way. Michiro's eyes slightly widened at this. Michiro. I see. Rimuru. Look, if all you wanted was training, we can spar if you want. I'm sure I'll be more of a challenge than that doll anyways. Michiro. Well, I suppose you have a point, sparring with you may prove to be more useful. Rimuru. Why don't you guys give us some room and move that doll while you're at it? Tanjiro, Nezuko and Katetsu backed away while carrying the doll with them, while Rimuru and Michiro got into fighting positions while drawing their swords. Meanwhile, Zenitsu. Ugh, I'm glad we got the day off, but I was hoping to spend time with Nezuko, not be searching for something that sensei doesn't even know exists. Inosuke. Stop complaining, it's getting annoying. Zenitsu. Wait, I hear some fighting over there. Inosuke. Really, then let's go. Inosuke ran where Zenitsu was looking. Zenitsu. Wait, hold on, don't just leave me here by myself. Zenitsu was behind Inosuke trying to catch up with him until he reached out of sight. Zenitsu. Damn it, why are the trees so thick here? By the time Zenitsu reached where they were, a broken part of a sword flew right by his head, just missing his face, but a cut could be seen on his cheek. Zenitsu. Where did that sword come from? Rimuru. Oh hey Zenitsu, hey Inosuke, sorry I should have deflected the sword up. Zenitsu saw Rimuru standing over Michiro with his sword in his face as he was standing above the young Hashira. Michiro. Ha, I suppose you won and so quickly. Rimuru. Yeah, guess so. Rimuru reached out his hand to Michiro, he took it as he got up. Rimuru. Sorry I broke your sword. Michiro. It was worn out already, so I suppose it's not your fault. Regardless, this was good training for me. It allowed me to see how I should improve as a swordsman. I thank you. Rimuru. Sure, no problem. Michiro walked over to the doll and took a sword from the doll. Michiro. This should do for the time being. Michiro tossed his sword to Tanjiro, he swiftly caught it with one hand. Michiro. There, now dispose of it. Michiro then left. Tanjiro. Not even a whiff of malice, he must not be doing it on purpose. Rimuru. Don't let it bother you. Tanjiro. That being said, his crow reeks with animosity, she's so condescending, what gives. Yamamoto flew down to Rimuro's shoulder, as did Ginkgo on Michiro's. They shared a glare of pure hatred. Yamamoto. Ginkgo. Yamamoto. They spoke in the lowest tones they could to each other with those words, the animosity was so thick between them. Rimuru. Oh that's right, I almost forgot. Hey Michiro, wait up for a second. Michiro turned around to look at Rimuru as he whispered in his ear. Rimuru. Simmered radish dressed with sweet miso. Michiro's eyes widened. Michiro. That sounds delicious, when might we have some? Rimuru. It'll take a while to make, so you should wait about a week. I'll see if anyone wants any as well. I'll also eat cooking for Mitsuri as well. Michiro. I see, I can't wait. They looked at each other with serious expressions and nodded at each other. Michiro. If that's all, I'll be going now. Michiro left with Ginkgo shooting a glare at Yamamoto, and Yamamoto blew a raspberry in response. Tanjiro. Your crows really don't get along, do they? Rimuru. We're just lucky they didn't get into another long-winded argument. I don't let it bother me though, but anyways, this doll really interests me. Tanjiro. I know what you mean, it seems so familiar. Nezuko. I'm getting that feeling too. Zenitsu. It looks so creepy. Hitetsu. It was modeled after a powerful swordsman of the past. Rimuru. Wait, look at its earrings. Tanjiro. You're right, they're the same style as mine, meaning. Nezuko. It must be based on grandfather Yoriichi. Rimuru. Well, that explains the 6 arms, then must be to copy his style, still that's nowhere near enough. Hitetsu. Wait, if the guy that this one was modeled after is related to you, then maybe if I watch you guys fight it could help me find out how to replicate the technology. Rimuru. And we get decent training out of it. Win-win. Tanjiro, you try it first. Inosuke. I wanna go next, this thing seems strong, anything to test my strength. Hitetsu. Go ahead, you showed that indifferent jerk whose booze you have my full permission to use it. Nezuko. That's very nice of you, Kitetsu. Hitetsu. Don't mention it, it's my pleasure. Tanjiro took a stance. Kitetsu turned on the doll, it also took a stance. Hitetsu. Go on, give it a try. When Kitetsu backed away, the doll charged at Tanjiro. 5 swift clangs could be heard as Tanjiro repelled all the swords of the doll and had his sword facing up against its neck. Rimuru. As I thought, seems like it can't really help us train, but I think it could help you too. Rimuru pointed at Inosuke and Zenitsu. Zenitsu? What, but that doll is so creepy, please don't make me fight that thing. Rimuru. Well, I suppose if you would prefer sparring with me in your training, it would only be cruel to deny you. Zenitsu looked up at Rimuru as he had a sadistic grin. Zenitsu. Fire up the doll. Rimuru. Good, this should give us some decent training while we wait on our swords. The good news is that since swords for the higher ranked are a priority, ours should be done soon if we can't find Higanazuka, though I would prefer he works on them. Hitetsu. Gee, I wonder where he could be. Hitetsu said skeptically. Rimuru. Well, you guys stay here. Tanjiro and Kitetsu can oversee your training, and Nezuko can be on standby, so you won't suffer any permanent injuries. Hitetsu. You can count on me. Tanjiro. I'll follow your teachings, brother. Nezuko sighed exasperatedly. Nezuko. Looks like I'll have my work cut out for me. Zenitsu. So we did have to end up training after all. What about the weapon? Rimuru. We can look for it later, training is more important now if you'll excuse me. Inosuke. Hey, where are you going? Rimuru. For a nice enthusiastic walk in the woods, I'll be back soon, and I hope that by then you guys should be able to land at least one hit on the doll, otherwise it's tougher training for whoever can't. Zenitsu and Inosuke tensed up at those words as Rimuru left with Yamamoto on his shoulder. Zenitsu. What could he possibly be doing? He never misses training with us. Tanjiro, I don't know, but whatever it is, it must be important. Nezuko. Perhaps he's going to meet Mitsuri. I saw she was still in the village. You think they made plans for a date when he spoke to her privately? Tanjiro. But Nezuko doesn't miss Seal like him too, wouldn't that get complicated? Nezuko. Well, the choice between them is obvious, so with it she should leave him alone. Tanjiro. You really aren't fond of Miss Seal, aren't you? Nezuko. Whatever do you mean, Tanjiro? Tanjiro. And nothing. Rimuru. All that wait and you only managed to make such a short chapter. Look, I'm kinda on a vacation, Earl, so I haven't had much time to work on it, and I thought it best to squeeze a short explanation of the training arc so they wouldn't be left high and dry. Rimuru. Excuses, the people are waiting on you, you know. You got a point, maybe I should make a one shot where I trap you in a room with the darkest anime girls and force them to be infatuated with you. Rimuru. What? Yeah, girls like Esdeeth, Makima, you know, Gasai, maybe throw in a couple of more yandiers and watch the fireworks. Rimuru. You're doing just fine. Bye, thank you. Now I can't be bothered to look for memes right now, so just take this. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.